Penguins. They are like the mascots of Antarctica. Because everyone loves penguins. Well, almost everyone.
I don't really get what's so great about penguins. I'm just gonna say it. And I know, 3 billion people probably hate me right now, but I really just don't get what the big deal with penguins is. They're just kind of like birds that don't fly, and I hear they kind of stink. So, we're going to see the penguins.
Tonight, we're heading to the Cape Royds penguin colony, a helicopter flight away. This is our first big excursion away from McMurdo Station.
When I started working on this series, going to see the penguins was non-negotiable. It was priority one. My boss would fire me if we did not get footage of penguins on this trip.
Cape Royds is home to the southernmost Adélie penguin colony in the world, and it's where a few thousand Adélie penguins nest.
Not only is this where we plan to get some amazing penguin footage, but it's also where we'll finally get a chance to camp outside in the Antarctic wilderness.
And hey, Arlo.
I'm excited about getting there, I'm excited about seeing them, but I'm also really excited about sleeping.
You're not gonna sleep tonight.
Oh, I am. Doesn't matter how, I am.
So, it's currently 6 a.m. As you can see, the wind really picked up. Yeah, the idea of filming in this is so unappealing. So, it's gonna be a day. Cold.
Very cold.
This is our first time calling back to the Nova office.
I'm gonna ask, was that your first helicopter ride?
Yes.
No, for me.
Unfortunately, we don't have good news to share. We're stuck inside.
But it's been gusting to 40, 45 mile per hour winds. So we're hoping that it quiets down so we can actually go film with the penguins. Can we introduce you to our friends who are hosting us here? Is that all right, guys?
Welcome to Cape Royds and our hut. This is our humble home. I live here for 3 months every year.
This is Jean Pennycook.
It's a little rustic, but this is where the penguins are, so this is where I'm most happy.
She's a penguin expert and runs an outreach program for kids around the world, which is why she gets the good internet.
We come here every year from about October to the end of January, and we study these birds.
Studying penguins in such a remote and harsh environment is not easy, and it takes a special kind of person to be up to the task. Someone who's okay with living in this place.
So I can't wash my hair, maybe you can tell, and I can't wash my clothes, maybe they can tell. So it's very rustic out here, but this is living in Antarctica.
So we're hoping that the wind dies down enough in the next hour for us to get out there and get something.
Do you know what the temperature is with the wind chill?
It's negative 10 Celsius.
That's not
Without
that
wind chill.
cold. That's not that. That's just like 18 degrees below 32. Okay.
And then there's a 40 mile per hour wind.
Finally, we catch a break. The winds die down just enough for us to venture out. We walk the 15 minutes it takes to get to the colony, and it's kind of brutal. But now, we are on a mission.
Here's what we're imagining. A hero penguin, being cute. Beautiful background, preferably with some ice in it. An expert explaining what's going on.
Penguins do not eat pizza.
Basically, something like this.
A returning adult may spend hours looking for its chick among such a crowd.
Parent and chick can recognize one another's voice.
But instead, it's too windy to hear each other talk.
That picturesque ice near the ocean is hopelessly far away. Keeping our camera stable is impossible.
And these penguins are way more interested in, shall we say, building their nest than being cute. And then, to add insult to injury, we get the call that more bad weather is rolling in. A helicopter is on its way to pick us up.
We have to toss our plans out the window and return to the hut fast.
But by the time we get back to the hut, the winds have picked up, which means the helicopter is delayed.
Fortunately,
They kind of smelled bad.
that gives us a bit of time to talk penguins with Jean.
Well, wait till you go home and you'll smell the same. So when you're around the birds, you kind of absorb some of it. So what we're looking at when you go down there is 10,000 years of penguin guano. It's not dirt, it's penguin guano, and it is built up over the last 10,000 years when this colony has been here.
So we were literally walking and filming in a landscape of penguin poop.
This colony of penguins has been monitored for only about 60 of its 10,000-year existence. So there are still a lot of questions to be answered.
Why is this important to study penguins?
Penguins are very important to study because their environment is very fragile. There are no animals that live further into the hostility of Antarctica than these do.
This population at Cape Royds is actually pretty healthy.
But elsewhere, like in the McMurdo Station area of the Antarctic Peninsula, the Adélie penguins aren't faring nearly as well. Here, the population has declined by about 90% since the 1970s. And a NASA study projects that by the end of the century, more than half of the Adélie penguin colonies in Antarctica could be in decline.
In a lot of ways, penguins in Antarctica are like the canaries in the coal mine. They are telling us about the health of our natural world. And it isn't looking good. This is why Jean's outreach work is so important.
If we could use penguins as the conveyor of information about Antarctica and climate change, then they're a good one to do because rocks just don't do it. People aren't as interested in rocks.
Hey, I have a background in geology.
I mean, rocks are cool, but penguins are the most engaging bird by far.
Why is that? What is it about penguins?
This bird is anatomically very similar to us. They have their vertical column like this, and their heads are perpendicular, just like us. Their wings are down at their sides, like our arms. So they mirror us in much of their form and in their antics and their walking around. So we kind of identify with them.
So what you're saying in a way is that we like them because they look like derpy humans.
Well, Charlie Chaplin thought so.
Charlie Chaplin was a comedy legend from a century ago, and he was constantly reminded that his signature walk looked just like a penguin shuffle. But he claimed that he wasn't actually trying to imitate a penguin.
Just as I was actually coming to appreciate these little birds, our time at Cape Royds runs out.
We only got about 15 minutes to film with the penguins, and instead of a picturesque icy landscape, just a lot of penguin poop. I mean, let's be honest. This
To raise a family in one of the most unforgiving
isn't this.
Our plans were kinda ruined by the weather. And to me, it feels like failure.
After that trip, Antarctica keeps us busy.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
And so we kinda give up on the penguins.
But over the month-long stay, we meet a lot of scientists who work in this harsh environment, day in and day out.
So this is 28 degree Fahrenheit water. It's right at its freezing point.
Like Paul Seco, who studies Antarctic fish.
Can this, permanently hurt me?
No.
He catches them from this dive hole in McMurdo. And while attempting to see how much pain we can tolerate,
It hurts. It hurts.
he tells me something kind of enlightening.
So you mentioned something interesting in the field. You said you fail a lot.
Yeah, we fail all the time. you just have to work through it. And you learn over the years things that don't work and things that do work. And you learn that, you can't get everything done that you expect to get done in a season. You never do, never ever.
I've kind of noticed that myself coming down here, even though it's not a science project, it's a media project, that everything is just a lot harder here.
It's really challenging to do stuff down here. So you just have to be, really strong inside and just keep pushing through.
By coming to Antarctica, we're not just reporting on the science. We're putting ourselves in the shoes of scientists.
The most important thing is to recognize that failures aren't really failing, right? They're a way to rescope the problem or a way to learn something new, a new way to approach a problem. And if you can do that, that really matters.
Part of the scientific process down here is learning to contend with the environment. And it isn't just how to survive the cold. It's how to persevere when all of your carefully wrought plans are destroyed by a storm.
This is torture.
Or how to work with a small team of strangers when you're 9,000 miles away from home and can't sleep.
It's vastness, it's isolation, it's hostility. This place touches you at the soul level. I don't think that anyone can come to Antarctica and go home the same person that they were.
And by the end of the trip, we realize we've got some unfinished business.
So what, you want to review the plan?
Yeah. Arlo, where are we going?
Find some penguins!
What day is it?
The last day! We can't just leave it at Cape Royds. We need penguins.
We've basically done everything there is to do in this area, except find penguins.
Yep.
Well, we kind of found them.
No. Find the real penguin.
On ice and by the water. We found a penguin! There it is! One Lone Ranger Adélie penguin. You can't even see it on the GoPro.